Hey, and welcome to a nice 82 review with a difference. This review is quite special because it's a first for the channel. It's new technology, it's a new product. I know it's been out a while, but I finally got round to doing it, so bear with me, I hope you enjoy. We have to cast our minds back a little bit first to the 2014 catalogue by Hornby. This catalogue is pretty important because it announced some new things that we're going to take a look at. What page is that? Gosh, page 30, right. I'm nearly there. Okay, here we go. As we all know, DCC sound can be quite expensive. I think the catalogue does feature some typical DCC sound locomotives somewhere, and they're pretty expensive. They can be about £180, maybe even over £200, depending on which model it is. And typically, no, I can't seem to find any of the standard ones in this particular catalogue. Fine. But it's okay, because we're not interested in them. Today we're looking at TTS sound, which is the new sound system by Hornby. It's basically DCC sound on a budget. I don't think it's quite as fancy, I don't think it's quite as programmable or customizable, but it's supposed to be pretty good for the money. Pretty good value indeed. So, this is their current range, and there's a couple of locomotives in particular that I wanted to take a look at. There's the P2, Cock of the North, and then there's this one down here, the Hornby Tornado in a gorgeous blue, absolutely stunning. So you can see that I've asterisked that one and that one as well, and I shall be reviewing them in the order they were released. So that means we're doing Tornado first, and there it is. So on first impressions, you know, it looks just like any other standard Hornby model, to be honest. It's the new packaging, so it's quite fancy, it's pretty nice. But this is where it's different. Up here it says Digital TTS Sound, which stands for Twin Track Sound. Now, I have no idea what that means. I hope it's going to explain it to me. It was about £150, maybe a little bit less. So it's not cheap. It's definitely a considered purchase, shall we say. But it's certainly cheaper than it would be if it was a standard DCC sound model. I mean, if it was a standard DCC sound, a model like this would probably be about 180, maybe even 220. So it does represent, well, at least we hope it does represent good value for money if it sounds pretty good. So it's the typical Hornby packaging, as I say, it's really rather nice. What I do like is that the sleeve contains this information on the back. So you can see there, it's Peppercorn Class A1, there, British Rail livery, Tornado, decoder fitted. I don't think it has any particular special features. No, it's just Tornado. So it is special in that it's Tornado, and you get twin headboards. There we go. Well, it includes two etched nameplates, or rather, slightly different emblems there. Interesting. Okay, so 8P 6F. What does that mean? Well, 8P is its passenger rating, so it's a very strong, very fast passenger locomotive, but it's also a very capable freight locomotive, which is really cool. What does it say? In 1990, a group of enthusiasts began building a Peppercorn Class A1 from scratch. After nearly 20 years, Tornado moved under its own power at Darlington on the 29th of July 2008. I remember it well. It was about a year before I got back into model railways, so that was really rather special. The 462 wheel configured locomotive is 72 feet, 11 3/4 inches long. So it's big. Capable of 100 miles an hour, Tornado is at present certified to 75 miles an hour. Modern construction techniques produce a strong, stable frame, and a few adjustments were made to the tender, water and coal capacity during the build. Yes, they were. What's quite special is it's the first steam locomotive to be built in Britain since Evening Star. Yes, the Class 9F Evening Star, which was built at Swindon in 1960. So all these years later, the UK has turned out another steam locomotive, brand new. And it was named Tornado after the RAF jet, I do believe. So yeah, both very cool works of British engineering, which is it's something to be proud of. That's really cool. Since 2008, this popular locomotive attracts large crowds. It does, that's true. waiting to see this marvel of determination and fortitude wherever a tornado appears. Because it was built using modern standards and modern technology, the boiler is all it's welded. It's a solid welded boiler. It's not riveted, for instance. The firebox is steel rather than copper. Even things like the lamps on the front are LED rather than the old incandescent bulb type, which burnt out quite often. Modifications were made to the tender, as it just mentioned. The tender has been redesigned to carry more water and less coal. I'm not too sure why. Maybe we're getting more out of our coal. Maybe the engine is more efficient. I'm not too sure. But yeah, some modifications were made from the original A1s, which were all scrapped, which is absolutely criminal. But we have one. We have one again, and it's beautiful, isn't it? The locomotive, has worn various liveries: Workshop Grey, Elnia Apple Green, and the BR Brunswick Green, as well as BR Express Blue, since 2012, meaning that Tornado has carried the same 4 liveries as the original A1 Pacifics. Wow. So, that's a little bit of history on the locomotive. It's really rather special, I hope you'll agree. Let me just look at that, it does look stunning, doesn't it? Now, I know Bachmann do one as well. They do. Bachmann have also made a Tornado, and that too is stunning. In fact, some people say that the Bachmann one ever so slightly has the edge. I can't remember this. I think they were both laser scanned, but I think, is it the Bachmann one's tender is slightly inaccurate? They've just borrowed someone else's tender. But the Hornby one, even though it's got a laser scanned and accurate tender, I think the detail isn't quite as high as the Bachmann one. I'm not too sure. It's something like that anyway. But the reason I've gone for the Hornby one, folks, is purely because of this TTS sound, okay? I probably will do the Bachmann one as well at some point, and then decide which one to keep, you know. But today we're looking at this because of the TTS sound, alright? Okay, well, as I say, it's an absolutely gorgeous box. I really do like this packaging. It's very nice indeed. I think both Hornby and Bachmann are pretty much using this all the time now, aren't they? So let's just lift out the locomotive. There we go. Again, I do this to show you what you get in the box, okay? I trust that everybody out there knows how to open a box. I'd be pretty worried if you didn't, but I do this to show you what you get. And not very much by the looks of it. You get the locomotive just there, some instructions, and then something on the TTS sound. So, look, this is new. I have a folder that I keep all these in, and I haven't got an A1 Tornado one, that's for sure. I should imagine it's the pretty standard sort of stuff. How to replace the motor, where to put lubrication, where to fit the accessories. Wow, close coupling option. Oh gosh, right, it's got one of those little DCC plugs, has it? I guess the chip and the sound are in the tender then. They usually are because there's more room in the tender, you see. Body removal, okay. Something on the NEM couplings, and of course the sound. Wow. Oh gosh, is that a speaker? Okay, well we'll have a look at all of that later. And then, as I say, there's some instructions as well. So they're specific for this particular model, which is good. Tornado, peppercorn, A1 class. Are they going to tell us what sounds we've got? Yes, they are. Right, here we go, folks. Function list, sound and lighting. Lighting if fitted to loco. Okay, yeah, I didn't think there'd be lighting fitted. Maybe you have to do that yourself. So, headlight, rear light. Okay, background steam, steam exhaust, chime whistle, screech whistle, long chime whistle, short screech whistle, short chime whistle. Try saying this when you're drunk. Coal shoveling, blow down, okay, safety valve, injector, cylinder cock, brake, blower, wheel slip, coupler clank, fireman's breakfast. What? Toggle sound mode between chuffing and coasting, and then auxiliary lighting. Right, okay folks, as I say, the DCC Select I have can probably go up to about number 10 or 11. I don't think it can do the rest, so we'll have to have a look at that in another video when I do a video on the new controller. But what's really nice is they've included all the CV figures as well. Look at all that. Absolutely heaps of information here, peeps. Seriously, it's pretty impressive. It's very nice of them to do this. And look, it opens up, there's even more. Oh my gosh, further notes regarding CV29. The mixer section, adjusting the decoder's sound volumes via CVs. Gosh, look at this. I mean, I've not got a controller that's capable of all this, but if you've got a really good DCC controller, such as a Gabe Master Prodigy or a Lens or even the Dynamis, then I'm pretty sure that you can dive into all of this and customize it to your heart's content. Look at this. This is very, very impressive, folks. I'm impressed. This is very, very good. So far, so good. The Hornby Tornado is fitted with a Hornby twin track sound decoder. Main features supports short and long addresses. Right, okay, so it's basically just copying itself. Okay, so that's really good, and I know that I can, pick that up and read it if I need it. Right, so let's slide this sleeve off, because it's in the typical block of ice packaging. So, there's some accessories. Not many, and we know what these are, don't we? They look like brake rods, probably for the tender. Well, to be honest, they could be for the tender or the main locomotive. We'll have to check in a second. There's some vacuum tubing and something else. I'm not quite sure what... Oh, are they lanterns? They could be lanterns. They're very small, whatever they are. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, there's the etched nameplates. Is there just one there, or is there two? Well, it's Tornado anyway. Right, that's it. There's no more accessories. There's nothing else to talk about other than getting the locomotive out. So I'm just going to nip outside and scare off a pigeon that's ruining my video. And then we shall look at the locomotive in detail. Okay, just quickly before I do get the locomotive out, yes, there are two etched nameplates in there. There are two. They're very, very thin, but you can see that there's two there, so that's really good. But I think, yes, it has got some on it already. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now, are they the two coupled? Yeah, they are. Okay, that's fine. It's going to make things a little bit tricky, but I should be okay. I'm a pro. I've done this before, you know. Right, here we go. This is the hardest bit. Trying to get the whole thing in your hands. Wow. Okay. That is gorgeous. Just look at that, folks. Isn't she stunning? Well, for a start, she's huge. Absolutely massive. It's definitely one of the biggest locomotives I've ever held in my hands, and it's really heavy as well. Oh my gosh, no! The buffers are not sprung. Ah, no. Oh, that's disappointing. And I so thought they were going to be as well. But they're not. Is it same on the back? Yeah, the buffers aren't sprung. I could take that little plug out in order to have a look at everything properly, but they're so fiddly, you know. I'm going to leave it in. We'll try to do our best with it plugged in. Could you calm down, please? Thank you. Right. Gosh. Okay, so that's the etched nameplate that it comes with. And as you can see, there's very little difference between that and the other one. It's just about the emblem in the middle. I'm not too sure what the difference is, to be honest. I'm sure somebody could tell me. But it looks perfectly fine to me. I'm going to leave it alone for now. You can see that there's some sort of lantern up there at the top, some sort of light. But there are no lanterns on the front. So probably that's what the details were. The optional lanterns. You can tell it's a modern locomotive from all the the warning signs all over the locomotive, telling you that, you know, watch out, there could be overhead wires. Look at that double chimney. Oh my gosh, I didn't know Tornado had a double chimney. That's pretty impressive. It's absolutely gorgeous, folks. It really is. It's a shame that the buffers aren't sprung. That's a little bit cheap. I was hoping that they were going to be, but you know, apart from that, everything else is pretty good. It's pretty impressive. I wouldn't say it's quite up to the standards of the Bachmann version, but as we know, this is going to be quite special because it's DCC sound. Although there is minimal cab detail. Look at that, folks. That's obviously where they've saved some money as well. You can see that there's detail there, but at the same time there isn't. That's really basic, and that's a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to have seen more. Oh, the actual coupling thing for the tender is loose there. Okay, so you can see that the peg that attaches onto is just there at the base, underneath the cab. Beautiful British Railways emblem on the tender. Really nicely, accurately presented. Do you know, this is so hard to handle because it's so huge. I'm going to have to detach that little plug and look at them both separately. I'm sorry, folks, it's just so heavy and so big. It's just too hard. So, jump cut. Okay, and I'm back. I couldn't have done it without one of these. Basically, this is a loco cradle. You can make them yourself. I've seen people do it. This is a bought one made out of foam, and I think it's by Pico. But it was absolutely essential. It was so fiddly, it was untrue. There's the locomotive itself, and there's the tender. Now, there's virtually no weight in the tender, which is quite interesting. Well, I know that a microchip and a speaker aren't going to weigh very much, but it's really quite light. This little plug that connects to the tender is so fiddly, it's just ridiculous. I was genuinely scared out of my wits that I was going to basically snap it or, you know, detach one of these tiny hair width cables from this little plug, and then the whole thing would be ruined. So yeah, definitely something I don't recommend you do unless you absolutely have to, because it's really not easy to get out of there at all. I had to sit the locomotive upside down in this cradle like that, with the tender like this, and then I had to go at it with some tweezers and basically just like put a tweezer in one side and then the other side and just gently rock it out. And then I had to just grab it in the end and pull as carefully as I could. It was not easy. Very, very, very stressful. But I did it. And I did it okay. Everything's fine. So we can have a look at them properly now, without them being too heavy and too fiddly. So yeah, the locomotive itself is impressive. It's heavy, very heavy, and it looks immaculate. I mean, just look at that blue, look at the finish. It's gorgeous. The wheels, the linkage, the coupling rods, the connecting rods. The only things that let it down are that there's no cab detail. That's a bit of a shame, and I guess that's where they've saved a bit of money maybe. And I like my sprung buffers, and there are no sprung buffers. That's a bit of a shame. But apart from that, everything else is pretty good. You've got NEM couplings, and they fitted a nice slim tension hook, so that's pretty good. That's pretty realistic. The finish is stunning. It seriously does look the business. I mean, just look at it. Absolutely beautiful. It's really heavy, as I say, so I'm keen to see what its performance is like. And the tender too looks beautiful. Not so sure about the coal load. It doesn't look removable. It doesn't look removable at all. But the finish is nice. Again, the paintwork is really, really... I mean, just look at this. They've even put detail on... In fact, there's more detail on the tender than there is on the locomotive, which is a little bit odd. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I really do like it. I just wish that those buffers were sprung. It's just so annoying. But again, we've got a dovetail mounted NEM socket with a nice slimline tension hook. So that's pretty good. It means that you can take it out and put in any coupling you want. So that's really quite nice. Right. So yeah, the detail's impressive. I'm hoping that the performance is going to be just as impressive. The only thing left to do is to put it on the track and see what it's like. Okay, so here we are over at the test layout in the conservatory. It's a really sunny day, so we should get some pretty cool shots. I have coupled the tender back up, which was a lot easier than trying to detach it, that's for sure. I won't worry about any of the extra detail yet. I've just noticed that the braking rod detail we saw in the bag, I think it's for the locomotive. Yes, I'm sure it is, but don't worry, we can apply that at a later date. It will not affect the test run that we want to perform today. So again, things to bear in mind, it's incredibly big, very heavy, it's very fiddly. You've got to be careful with it, you've got to be gentle with it. But just look at that. Stunning. We've got the DCC controller plugged in and it's set to number 3, so already it should move, it should respond. I think number 3 is the default number. Although, having said that... Hey folks, we're back. Apologies for the delay. I know it may only seem seconds to you, but in reality it's been about half an hour or something. We've had some technical issues with the controller in trying to get this locomotive to work properly. It's not the locomotive's fault. The locomotive is great, but the Hornby DCC Select is now so out of date that we had major technical issues. I'm not going to go into them in this video. You can watch a follow-up video for that, which I will upload tomorrow. So watch out for that, and I'll put an annotation or a link or something in this video so that you can go to it. But for now we're using the Bachmann Easy Command DCC controller, which is 100% NMRA compliant. And as such, we have no problems with the sounds or the acceleration and deceleration on this locomotive. So let's just get the sound back. There we go. Now whilst I'm in function mode on the Easy controller, I should be able to activate the other sounds as well. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. And I've switched it off again. Number 3. Yep, and then deselect it again. Number 4. Number 5 is another whistle as well, I think. Yep. Gosh. Number 6. Number 7. That's the coal shuffling. And then number 8 is the blow down, isn't it? The steam. Yep. I don't think we're going to get number 9. No. Just like the DCC Select by Hornby, we can only go to number 8. So apologies for that. But don't worry, we'll return with the P2 Clock of the North and we'll do them both properly. So, let's see if the locomotive can move now. That's not bad, that's not bad. Okay, and let's get it rolling around the layout and see what happens now. Wow, that is beautiful. Let's slow it down. Okay, that's impressive. And there's barely any speed now. And look, the sound has adjusted. And the locomotive is just crawling along. Even across express points, which are killers. And if we speed it up again. Oh my gosh. Okay, here she comes. Peeps, is this impressive or what? Let's give it a bit more power. Oh, now we're talking. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh. Whoa. Whew. Wow, what do you think of that, folks? I mean, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad for the money. That's really quite impressive. As I say, there is a bit of an incompatibility issue with the DCC Select and this particular model, and probably any twin track sound, just because of the way DCC standards move on, but some controllers are being left behind. But as I say, watch out for the little video I'll do on that. I'm impressed. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, if we just get it to back up a little bit. Honestly, for the money, this is incredible. I'm really impressed. It's not quite as realistic as proper DCC sound. The sound quality is a little bit... I think it could be improved. Maybe even just the speaker housing could be swapped for a better one. But certainly for the money, it's just phenomenal. I'm really impressed. I think she's gorgeous. I think in conclusion, we're just going to get her rushing around the layout with some coaches. Okay, we're back for the final shot and the conclusion of this tornado in TTS sound. I've put the Heart of Midlothian coaches on the back. I know they're not entirely accurate because it probably wouldn't have pulled them, I don't know. But they're blood and custard. They're a really nice colour, and in some footage I've seen of Tornado in real life, she's been pulling similar coaches, so I thought they'll do for the purposes of this video. So let's swap direction and get her going. Right, so what do I think, folks? Well, I'm absolutely blown away. Trust me, she's a keeper.